are now joined by head coach Karen Aston, who watched her team. You know, we were talking to you off air. You admitted it makes it exciting for us as broadcasters. How did you feel about the performance tonight of your team?
I mean, we played hard. I think that for so long this year, we've been trying to get them to play with a high level of intensity, play with some enthusiasm, those types of things. And I think we're trying to do that. We're still making a lot of mistakes, but I do think that we're starting to overcome that period where you make a mistake and you get so down on yourself that you can't function. I think we were that way in the first semester, and now we're to a point where we make a mistake and we move to the next play. And I think that when I say we, I mean it's literally a collective whole group of us. I mean, even the coaches on the bench are like, what do we got to do next? And I think we've all kind of taken that approach to trying to help them. And that's about all I can ask for at this point. I know there's things we need to be better at, but I knew Oklahoma would come in here and play like that, so we had to fight them off, and I think it would be disrespectful to act like we should have blown them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Karen, to your point about having more enthusiasm, shaking things off, how much does Dani Williams' attitude, the way she plays the game, because she came here as a player who really had that kind of attitude. She could miss 6 in a row, and it was okay. It didn't bother her. So how much has she rubbed off on your team?
I think what's rubbed off on our team is that she kind of weathered the storm of not playing great and never wavered, which is you're completely describing Dani's personality. Nothing really bothers her. And if it does, it's internal, and she deals with it in her own space and then comes back the next day ready to work. And I think that showed some leadership. I think we had some defining moments in the last few weeks of who are our leaders. And when I say defining moments, they've been in practice. But there's been practice moments where you can see that she's establishing herself as one of the leaders. I mean, it does help that she doesn't ever get bothered. She doesn't change a lot of expressions, and I think that does help our young players move along, for sure. I think she's starting to open her mouth more also.
Let's talk about another senior, Zaatari White, who was shut out in the last game against West Virginia. She comes off the bench. It was a pretty big game for you, 13 points and 9 rebounds.
Zaatari was really good, and I think that she got in foul trouble at West Virginia. I think that was, she was ready to play. I mean, she's not been practicing bad or anything like that. It's just been, I've looked for a little bit of a different defensive lineup to start the game. I thought she came ready to play against West Virginia, and she got some quick fouls, and then when we put her back in the second half, she got another quick foul. So, she never could get in any kind of flow. Tonight she was able to stay out of foul trouble and stay in a flow.
Yeah, really did a nice job on the boards, really pursuing the ball tonight, which I think everybody kind of feeds off of. Y'all are such, I think you had 18 offensive rebounds.
We did, and that a lot of those came when we needed them in the first half, but I thought the big key statistically was really that we ended up better on the boards, because if you looked at the first half, they had 10 offensive rebounds in the first half. And ended up with 11, so I thought we made some adjustments at half.
What did you say? We asked Zaatari this question. What did you say to the team at halftime in regards to getting out-rebounded for a large portion of the first half?
Well, to be honest with you, it was a little bit of just a conversation about the way we were playing defense, because it wasn't necessarily our typical style of defense. Second half, we got a little undisciplined with what we were supposed to be doing because they made a few shots. We were trying to protect the paint. And in doing so, we were way more into help side than we normally are. We're not in help side.
Right.
But we were really in help side today, so therefore we were having trouble going back and boxing our guys out. Pellington hurt us in the first half, and I think we just talked about it, made a little adjustment about how to go back out and find your guy.
Yeah, Pellington
what happened to her? Does anybody know?
Didn't get the start today. No, we don't know. So
I thought maybe she got hurt.
But didn't get the start today. I think that Sherry trying to mix some things up for her own team too.
Sure,
We know what that's about. Definitely. Let's talk about Shug Sutton a little bit, because Shug struggled some. I don't know if struggle's the word, but maybe it is. You can speak to that more better than me. But she had the huge plays at the end of this game, off the bounce, just attacking the basket, and they were a difference maker. Not only was Dani Williams' 3 huge, those 2 scores by Shug, the offensive board, put back, and then her drive, huge.
Well, I mean, she has a way about her when she gets in foul trouble or gets an early foul that makes her a little less aggressive, and she gets down on herself, you know, because she knows that we need her. But that's what players like Shug are supposed to do. You know, no matter what happens to you, when you get in the game and it's game time and it's time to make plays, then you do that for your team, and she sure did.
Well, I tell you, at West Virginia, she's 8 for 10. I mean, just they couldn't guard her. She was just virtually unstoppable. And this is a player, she's your point guard. She's responsible for getting other players' shots, her own shot, but she's really coming into her own. Now, maybe a little slow tonight, but for the season, she's really turning into a really nice point guard. Yeah,
I mean, she's very clearly the leader of our team, and you know, we roll better when Shug's got her wheels turning, and she's kind of hitting on cylinders. And so I thought that, I mean, Destiny did a very honorable job. I mean, you know, because she got in a position where she was really having to run our team a lot. But this is such good experience for her. I mean, you know, playing time and having that stuff on your shoulders will bode very well for her as a future player, because you know, she's going to be a combo guard, and then there's, you know, she'll get to a point where she can roll up there and just really take over because of what she's going through right now.
And she came up with 2 huge rebounds late in the game.
She did. I thought she kind of got into a mode where she was trying to make a few too many plays without being patient, but you know, that's a young player. I can't. At least she's trying to make them. You know, that's better than standing around doing nothing.
You get ready for Iowa State coming up, number 2 in the RPI. Do you not think about them until tomorrow?
Oh, no. I'll think about them as soon as I walk out of here. But I do think that we've got to manage this team a little bit. I mean, they're young. Some of them played a lot of minutes tonight, so we'll try to figure out how to have the most energy we can possibly have going into Ames, because they're very good. I mean, I have seen them play. I haven't studied them until we get busy with it tonight, but I've seen them play enough to know how good they are.
Talk a little bit about, talk a little bit about Joyner Holmes, because she did some pretty nice things tonight.
Oh, she's a maddening player sometimes. And she knows it. She was so disappointed in herself over her free throws, and because she's been working really hard on her free throws. So, and I would probably say a few of those were probably fatigue misses. But she tried to do some things down in the paint that we've been asking her to do. I would still love the fadeaway to go away when you have a size advantage. But, well, she did more tonight that we were looking for as far as developing a presence in the paint. I thought that her rebounding really was pretty significant. I mean, there were times there late in the game that you could see her above everybody. And she kind of dug deep tonight, because I know that 26 minutes is a lot for her right now.
14 rebounds for Joyner Holmes. So we hope you can enjoy this win at least for a few hours or a few minutes. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank y'all.
Texas takes down Oklahoma 73-63. We'll take a look around the Big 12 when we get back on Game Day Final.